If you'll excuse me here, I don't have my normal audio setup microphone because I want you to be able to hear this, the Aaron Rodgers clip from the other night with Colin Cowherd mocking him about money being energy. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely walk away from that.
Oh boy, money is energy. Oh boy. Yeah, go to my bank. Hey, I'd like to take out $20 million in energy. Excuse me? Yeah, money is energy. Too many retreats, too much ayahuasca.
So there you have it. And thank you for Sydney71 for sharing that. It's and someone said in there too, it's just his financial privilege about materialistic things and whatnot as to why he could say something like that, which, it's true at the end of the day. And we've talked about this a lot here on this channel. And, ironically, this is like the Peter Zeihan thing the last couple of days on Joe Rogan and him, the 2-minute clip of him coming out against Bitcoin and conflating crypto and Bitcoin. I mean, in 2 minutes, I think Alex Stanzik said it best. There couldn't be more narcissism and, just idiotic wordsmithing within a 2-minute span if you tried. And I think Peter Zeihan's a very smart guy. Colin Cowherd seems like a very smart sports guy. However, when you don't understand what's going on, it makes it tough. Bitcoin tends to do that. Bitcoin tends to root out the fake in society, the fakers in society, and it tends to show really the tide going out. It shows who's swimming naked. Like for people like Peter Zeihan, if you didn't do homework on this and you're spouting off and you just showed you're behind, what else are you not doing your full homework on? And it really, Bitcoin, and I tweeted this out the other day, Bitcoin, your economic reputation, your status, your influence going forward will be predicated off of what you thought about Bitcoin and your stance on Bitcoin going forward. Whether it's, like I said, just status in society, just your standing, or your wealth status and just your wealth in general, what your kids have, what your grandkids have. It's all predicated. Your reputation, everything predicated off of your stance with Bitcoin, what you did with it, and your promotion of it, your acquisition of it. And it truly is at the end of the day, because this is where it all comes to a head. And this is where the rubber meets the road, time and energy, right? So you have your work. We've explained this numerous times. We have videos on this, but again, it's just so important since Colin Cowherd gave us this opening again, not understanding that money is literally directly energy. Money at the end of the day is just a container. That's all it is. It's this beautiful container right here, and it's trying to store something for you. What is it it's trying to store? It's trying to store your time and energy, your work. You go to work each day, that's your time and energy, and you're pouring it into this money, this trade, because you're making this trade. We're all making this trade, going to work. You're not just going to work because you love your boss or you just love your coworkers. Like, yeah, I'm going to come here for 8 hours a day just for goodwill, just because I love these people. I want to see them. I want to spend time away from my passions, my hobbies, my friends, my family, and I just want to come spend it over here instead. Now, that may be the case for some of you, but hopefully that's a small percent. The average person, though, in general, is only going because they're getting compensated. They're working for the almighty dollar. And let's just call a spade a spade. They're working for the almighty dollar. A lot of people don't love what they're even doing. So they're going in hopes they're making a trade, their time and energy, for money. And they're swapping that, right? You're filling up, or another way to think about it is you're filling up that time and energy, that work, in a container of money. And you're filling it up, filling it up, filling it up. And in fiat over here, or transition, government has punctured a hole in the side. And this is taxes. This is inflation. And it's just streaming out while you're sleeping. Everything, the prices of everything are going up. This inflationary fiat legacy monetary system we are told we need to live in with 2% inflation a year. Now it's 10% and 16%. Why is that? Some countries 100%, 1,000%. Why is that? Why are they stealing our wealth, our time and energy, which is our true wealth? Why are they stealing that? Well, of course, they can't pay. They're over their skis. We've let them get too far out of control. And so they had to puncture a hole. And all your time and energy is leaking out of your money through inflation. Generally through inflation. Directly through taxation. But generally through inflation, where there's nothing you can do other than voting and people are going to stop it, I guess. But that's a story for a different day. So we want to make a fair trade. What's a fair trade? This container, we want a perfectly finite container. It used to be gold and silver. And that was a good trade for a long time, for thousands of years. But it had 1 to 2% inflation, and you can find it all over the world. You can find more in the ocean, sunken buried treasure. You can find it on asteroids. You can find it on other planets. Now we have Bitcoin. So we still had an inflation rate, gold and silver. Now we got Bitcoin, a perfectly finite container. Look at this container, beautiful, no holes, fills up with time and energy and just keeps increasing. As more and more Bitcoin are lost, Satoshis over time, over the course of hundreds of years, each Bitcoin, each Satoshi you hold will become more and more valuable, purchasing you more and more things. It doesn't mean other people are getting poorer. It just means your Satoshis will increase and buy you more and more things, other goods and services. This is the big thing that, in our inflationary mindset we've all had for the last 100 years, it's hard to understand. But we want this finite container to hold perfectly our time and energy. So the only fair trade I see is finite time for a finite asset, which is Bitcoin. There only will ever be 21 million. It's probably only going to end up being 15 or 16 million over the next 100 years because much of it got lost in the beginning. And so we know that we can measure everything by 21 million, and we can price everything correctly and value everything correctly, all the assets which we just did videos about as well. So go check our last videos about that. And again, if you like what we're doing here, please like and subscribe to the channel. Please share it with someone you think might need to understand this. But this is, again, where instead of putting our time and energy, Colin Cowherd thinks it's not energy. Money, all it is time and energy. Currency, like a piece of paper, is nothing. It's not worth a thing. And by itself, money, or a currency, you should say, or a dollar or something like that, it's just an inanimate object, right? It's nothing. It's a tool. It doesn't do anything. It's not good or evil. What you do with it is what's good or evil. So really, at the end of the day, money can only be a store of value. Currencies are these over here, broken monies, fiat currencies, because they have holes in them. They're not stores of value. So those are currencies. Like right now, everything in the world is a currency. Dollars, yens, pesos, rubles, all those things are currencies because they're not stores of value. They don't have the monetary properties to be considered money. Now these do over here, Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Bitcoin is just the best of the bunch and the best thing we've ever discovered as humans because we have the technology to now handle that system. We didn't have that for thousands of years. So now we have this perfect money, and we can store time and energy. So energy is money, and money is energy. Economic time and energy. You're pouring it into this for trading, hopefully trading it for money. You get a paycheck, you trade your time and energy, and then you get a paycheck for it. Or you are investing in assets or whatever. You're getting a compensation for that, a trade, which is money. And hopefully that trade is equally finite to your time and energy. Hopefully it is. Now, energy itself is infinite, right? We go down that rabbit hole, but your time is not. So hopefully we can make that fair trade. Finite time for a finite money. Where over here, we're trading finite time for infinite pieces of paper or infinite digits in a computer. So it'd be like me saying, hey, trade me your finite time for these blades of grass or for these grains of sand. You'd say, no way. Of course, I'm not doing that. Come on, Brandon. Well, we do it every day. We go and trade it for these infinite currencies. Why is that okay? Well, it's because someone has a gun to your head and say, pay your legal tender. If the government said, hey, pay your taxes in grains of sand or pay your taxes in blades of grass, well, that'd be amazing. How come they don't do that? Why don't they? It's the same thing. They're just as infinite, just as abundant. We want something that truly stores our finite time, energy, value, everything. Boom. Bitcoin. This is what Bitcoin was literally discovered for. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully Colin got up to speed with this video. Let me know what you got out of this, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Please share it with someone you think might need to see this and truly understand what money is, and that time is money, money is time, and that Bitcoin is time, and time is Bitcoin. The only two finite assets we have. If we know of any others, please let me know. Please put in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.